Tell us more about current conditions really all around Ohio. Matt Bruning with the Ohio Department of Transportation going to join us now live via Zoom. And Matt, first of all, thanks for joining us. I know you're crazy busy on a day like today. But let's just start with the fact you got 88 counties in Ohio. You got a lot of territory to cover and a variety of different conditions to deal with. So how do things stand right now? Where are things the worst?
Yeah, 43,000 lane miles of state and U.S. routes outside municipalities and all interstates except for the turnpike. And that is a lot of ground to cover, as you mentioned. And we're seeing that variety. I mean, it's been heavy snow in the northern part of the state. You guys are getting the snow in the Cincinnati area right now in southwest Ohio. We had freezing rain and rain yesterday. In fact, there are more than 70 incidents in ODOT.com, which is our official travel portal, in southeast Ohio, just related to flooding and debris on roadway, which would be things like tree branches and power lines that are down. So really north to south, Lake Erie to the Ohio River, it has been an absolute mess across the state of Ohio.
Now, did I understand right? You have, 1,300 plus or ish crews out and about?
Yep, 1,300 crews out across the state. That has been a consistent number really for the last 24 plus hours. It has been very busy. They've been on those 12-hour shifts, and they'll continue on that until we feel like everything's cleaned up and in good shape across the state.
How does it work when you've got to work with Duke Energy, or you've got to work with a different municipality who takes care of their own road, but maybe that road intersects with a road that you guys have to keep clear? What are those relationships like, and how do you contend with any issues that might arise when conditions are this bad?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's in the same boat. I mean, we're all trying to get our roadways cleared up, just like the cities are, the townships, the counties. And then, of course, when you've got that extra element of trees bringing down power lines, and you're working with power companies like Duke Energy or AEP or South Central, depending on where you are in the state, it does take those partnerships. You do have to have those great relationships. And so certainly we do try to have those great relationships with those other crews. But, everybody's got their own challenges. I mean, we talk about clearing the interstates. My goodness, it's a really tough gig to do that, but it's also a really tough gig to clear those city streets in the city of Cincinnati where you're on hillsides and you've got cars parked along the road you're trying to navigate around. So it's a tough gig for anybody who's out clearing roadways right now in the tri-state.
How much more difficult was a storm like this? You have some instances where, I don't want to say something, sneaks up on you, but for whatever case, you didn't get out when you could have gotten out, hypothetically speaking. Well,
sure.
with this particular storm, you really couldn't do much because there was so much rain. The rain was so heavy for so long. How much more difficult does that make things?
It makes it a really difficult situation. When you've got a storm that comes in as rain, and then it's going to go to freezing rain, and then it's going to go to sleet and snow, that is like a worst case scenario because there's nothing you can do with freezing rain. You can't plow it. You can't pre-treat for it. You can't really do anything. All you can do is just continuously salt those roads as that's coming down because it's continuously being washed right back off by the freezing rain. So it's a heck of a battle. So, with this particular storm, we were rooting for a very quick changeover from the rain to the snow because the snow is easier to deal with than any of those other elements. But I will say this, Bob, I've been absolutely impressed and very thankful that a lot of people have helped us out by staying off the roads.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at the OGO.com traffic cameras, yes, there are people out there, and I think a lot of those people are those essential workers who have to be. But for the most part, I think the early heads up from the National Weather Service and us telling people, please stay off the road, and people doing that has really made a huge difference.
Yeah, we've all been beating that drum nice and loud, no doubt about that. Now, I wanted to mention one other thing. I came back toward this area from where I live, coming in on US 50 from the west side of town, and it is sort of perfectly, I think, encapsulated something that you posted on your Twitter account, and that you're looking to get things passable, not necessarily perfect. And that's what I found to be true. Look, it was a tough drive, but I could do it. And when do we move from that place to, okay, now we can go back and get things kind of all clear? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, so we have a metric that we follow, Bob. We try to get our primary routes back up to within 10 miles per hour of the posted speed limit within 2 hours of the storm ending. Our secondary routes, we try to get those back up within 4 hours. And so once that snow stops, or even the blowing and drifting issues stop, the clock starts ticking for us. That's when we want to try to get those things back up to speed. So certainly as the precipitation stops falling, stops blowing around, Once that happens, you're going to start seeing some progress because we're able to get ahead of it at that point, and our materials will start working, and the plowing will last for quite a while.
All right, Matt, well, we appreciate you. We certainly appreciate all those crews out doing the hard work as well. And best of luck to you guys over the next 24 to 48 hours.
Thanks a lot, Bob.
All right, take care now.